and the water. So morning time what happened? The land was hot, okay, warm air. From the hot air from the land it is blowing into the ocean, and from the ocean the cool air is blowing into the land. Now what happens during the night time? The air which is present either in the ocean or a sea or a river or a lake is warm. Okay, so this warm air it will raise up, and then this warm air comes to the land. Understood, children? During the night time, the warm air or the hot air from the water it comes to the land, and from the land the cool air it goes into the water body. Okay, it forms a cycle. So hot air rises from the water body to the land, and the cool air from the land goes to the water body. This is called as land breeze. Okay children, have you understood now? What do you mean by a land breeze and a sea breeze? Yes, so let's have a very quick recap of land breeze and sea breeze. Now let's talk about sea breeze first. Sea breeze, this happens during the daytime. Daytime, the land gets heated up. So the hot air from the land, it goes into the water body, and the cool air from the water body, it comes to the land. Okay, this cycle is called as a sea breeze. Now it is land breeze. Land breeze, what happens? The air from the hot air from the water body comes to the land, and the cool air from the land goes to the water body. So this cycle forms the land breeze. Yes children, hope you have understood this. Now let's go to the next part. So till now we were talking about weather, we were talking about air. Now let's talk about water. What is water? Water is very important for all of us. Yes or no? Can we live without drinking water? No, not at all. So most of the earth's surface, 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water. Now this water, 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water, which are found in the form of, you can see this water in the form of rivers, in the form of lakes, in the form of seas, in the form of oceans, and in the form of underground water. Okay, now water changes its form through heating and cooling. So water is in the liquid state. So it is going to change its state from liquid to gaseous or gas, from gas to liquid again. Okay, so this is how we represent this water, as it exists both forms of heating and cooling. Now next part. Now let us see a very important part which is specific to water is evaporation. Now what is evaporation? Ma'am is talking so many things, I am not able to understand, right? No? Good. So let us see what is evaporation. Evaporation, it is nothing but changing of the water which is in the liquid state to gaseous state, to a vapor state. This process is called evaporation. Okay children, so it is nothing but change of water into water vapor due to heating is called evaporation. Right? Now instead of going into all this, let's look into a small example which happens in our home daily. Okay, your mom has put a little water in a small vessel in the stove. Okay, she has made that water full. The vessel was filled completely with water. Then she switched it on. She has put on the good flame. Okay, and then she was teaching you, and she was busy in teaching you because you were troubling your mom so much that she completely forgot about the water which is there on the gas stove. Okay, after 15-20 minutes, when your mom rechecks it again and sees, when she goes and checks on the stove again to the vessel, what will happen? Will the water be full like that? No, the water level will come down. Yes, children, it's low. The level of the water first she has put till the top. Okay, but after 15-20 minutes of heating the water in a high flame, the level of the water will come down a little. What is happening? Did you drink the water? No. Yes, can be? Not possible. So here, the water which was in the liquid state, it has changed into the vapor state. Okay, gaseous state, which we cannot see because gas is around us and we cannot see it. Right? So the liquid water is changing into gaseous vapor. Now this process is called evaporation. Now I think you must have understood. Yes? Simple example. Now let's look into this. Evaporation takes place at a faster rate when the temperature is very high. Okay? Mom has put a very high flame. Then all of a sudden the temperature has raised and the water started boiling. Okay? So when the temperature is more, the evaporation is more. Large exposed water surface, okay, big area filled with water. If the area is more, evaporation is also more. Okay, water vapor goes up and forms clouds. It is also forms dew, frost, fog and snow. So from this can we see, children, the large water body, because of the hot sun, okay, the water from the liquid state is going into the vapor state, okay, and there it is forming as clouds. Now, one best example which we can see in our daily life is, in the initial beginning of the class I told you, we have got importantly 3 main seasons in India. Yes, now recollect them. Yes, summer, winter and rain. Yes, children. Now let's see first summer. Summer is very hot, right? So all the water bodies which have water, the level of the water will come down because of the heat, the water gets evaporated and goes into the sky, and there it will form the clouds. Okay, 3 to 4 months, good temperature, very good sunny temperature, the water level comes down and it raises to form vapor. Now after summer season, which season we get, children? Yes, rainy season, because all the water which is there in the clouds, it will come back to fall as rain. Okay, so after summer season we get the rainy season because evaporation has taken place. So all the water has gone up, evaporated and formed as clouds. Yes, so this is the process of evaporation. Have you understood now, children? Yes, good. Now let's look into the next topic. Now let us see what is condensation. Condensation, the water vapor which is present in the air, it will cool, and it cools and it comes down as rain. Okay, so this process is called the cooling of water vapor from vapor state to liquid state again is called as condensation. Okay, children, so this process we call it as condensation. Now another example I give you. Now you take a small vessel, fill it with water, okay, put a lid over it, okay. Now you switch on the stove. The water is boiling, okay. You don't remove the lid now. Let it boil for some time. Now you switch it off, okay. Now immediately when you remove, you can see some small tiny droplets of water on the plate. Yes. So there it is called the process of condensation has taken place. Okay, children, when you have switched on the stove, the liquid water is boiling. From the liquid state, it is going into the vapor state. Okay, on the top the lid is there. There all the water vapor will come, it will cool and again it will change it into tiny droplets of water. So the gas is again changing to liquid. Okay, so when liquid changes to gas, the process is called evaporation. When the gas changes back to liquid, that process is called condensation. Hope you are clear now, children? Yes. Now let's look into another thing. What is fog? When the thick clouds of tiny drops of water form just above the land or water. Morning in the winter season, now we are able to see this, right? In the winter season, you can find small little cloud which is there around us, wherein we are unable to see the other people if we are walking, if we are going for a walk. Now this small tiny drops of water which is formed just above the land or water, this is called as fog. This fog you can see mainly in the winter season. Now next one is dew. Now let us see what is dew. It is the water vapor in the air. It will condense and it appears as droplets on the ground or any other surface. Okay, the vapor, it will cool and form tiny droplets of water. That is called as dew. Okay, here in the picture you can see a leaf. On the top of the leaf you can find small droplets of water. This is called dew. Now next is frost. When it is very cold, the dew or the water surface freezes into tiny crystals called as frost. Okay, now this dew, what happens? If the temperature is much cooler, very cool, then this liquid again it is changing into white crystal form. This is called as frost. Generally this happens in very cold countries. Okay, like America, Britain, okay, North Pole. So in those areas, okay, Netherlands, there the temperature is very cool, very low. There you can see the frost. Okay, children? Now let's go to the next part. Hail. Okay, here, hail. Hail is nothing but whenever it is raining. Okay, this raindrops, if they are coming across very cold temperature, the rainwater is changing in the form of ice. Okay, so that is called as hail. Okay, these hailstorms generally we can see it in the very cold countries. Okay, it is very little less in our country. Now next is snowflakes. This also. Okay, the water vapor which is present on the trees, because of low temperature it freezes. Okay, it freezes and it forms as white snowflakes. Yeah, seeing this you must have remembered about the Christmas, right? So in all the Britain and all Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, where those countries where the temperatures are very low, you can find these snowflakes which is present on the trees. Okay children, hope you have understood this. Now let's go on to the next topic, that is impurities which are present in water. Okay, so we have seen different types of water. Water can be changed from one state to another state. Yes, through evaporation, through condensation, right? So here, now let us see how this water have a mixture of different things. Okay, so impurities which are present in water. There are three main impurities which are present. One is a soluble impurity, the other one is an insoluble impurity, and disease causing germs. Okay, insoluble impurity means the impure part which is not soluble. Soluble means mixing. Understood children? Now if you take some stones or small sand, take a glass of water. If you mix that sand, if you put that sand into the glass of water, take a spoon and mix it. Will both mix? Will the water and the sand mix children? No. Yes, after some time you can see the sand which is at the bottom and the water which is at the top. Okay. So that is, the sand is unable to mix with the water. In other words, sand is not soluble in water. You cannot mix it. Okay. That we call it as insoluble. Okay children, so insoluble impurities. Okay, if we throw some thermocol in the water, some waste in the water, all this all the impurities cannot be directly mixed with water. Yes or no? Can you mix a thermocol in the water? Can both mix? No. So there it becomes an insoluble impurity. Okay, then soluble impurity. Soluble means which can mix. I take a glass of water, I take up a spoon of salt, I put the salt in the water and mix it. Can you find after some time salt separate and water separate? No. The complete glass of water will become salty because salt get mixed with the water. Right? So that means, in other words, salt is soluble in water. Okay, so that some impurities which are soluble in water, impurity means not good for our health. Okay, like chemicals which are coming from the factories. Okay, certain chemicals, they are being thrown as a waste in the water, and this water, the chemicals can mix in the water and cause water pollution. Okay, so those substances which are mixing with the water and forms the soluble impurities. Then disease causing germs. Yes, there are certain germs which are present in the water. Generally we get typhoid because if the water is not good, the bacteria or the virus or the fungi, they get mixed, certain things get mixed with the water and then they cause the disease. So disease causing germs are also present in the water. Now let's go ahead. Now these impurities are present. Can we take the impure water like that? No, it is not safe for our health. Right? So there is a process where the purification of water is done. So how you are going to purify? Purify means remove the unwanted waste from the water. Okay, removal of the waste from the water, and that water can be used by us for drinking, for washing clothes, for cooking or for any other household purpose. Okay, that process is called purification. So now let us see how we are going to purify the impure water present in us. Okay, so the four main process which is involved in the purification of water is sedimentation, decantation, filtration and chlorination. So there are four main processes: sedimentation, decantation, filtration and chlorination. So with these four procedures you are able to purify the water. Now let's see. Let's see the process of sedimentation and decantation. So what is sedimentation? Sedimentation is nothing but the process in which the impurities which are there in the water will settle down. Okay, the impurities, if they settle down in the water, then that process is called sedimentation. Okay children, now it is a process of purification in which impurities that are heavier than water will settle down at the bottom, making the water clear. Why they are settling down? Because they are heavier than the water. So hence the impurities, they come down. Okay, that process is called sedimentation. Then what is decantation? It is nothing but, now you have got a clear water now. If you are pouring that clear water from one beaker, from one vessel to another vessel, That process is called decantation. So it is the process of pouring the clear water into another vessel. Now see, here we have the experiment, children. There is a beaker which is having both solid and liquid mixture. Okay. Now when you mix it, after some time the solid will settle down. Okay. Now this process of settling down of the solid waste is called as sedimentation. Okay. Now after this, what is happening? You are taking out the only liquid which is being present here into another beaker. Okay. See, the solid waste is here and you are pouring only the liquid into another beaker. You are separating it. Okay. This process is called decantation. Yes. Hope you understood this, children. Yeah. Let's move on. Now, let's look into the third process, that is filtration. Okay, this filtration, let us see how it happens in the laboratory. Okay, you have got a stand, right? You have got a beaker. Okay, there is a funnel. Okay, to this funnel, you have put a filter paper. Okay, you have taken a glass rod, right? And you have a beaker. In this beaker, you have got a mixture of sand and water. Now, from this mixture, you are pouring it into the glass rod. Okay? From the beaker, you are pouring the water or the mixture into the glass rod. From the glass rod, all the water and the sand, it will come down. It goes into the funnel. Now, in the funnel, you have got a filter paper, right? Now, this filter paper, it will not allow the sand to go into the beaker, okay? So, the sand or the residue, it is present in the filter and only the clear liquid will come into the beaker. Okay, so this clear liquid will have the water and the dissolved salt which is present. Now this process is nothing but the filtration. Now this filtration, you can also see generally your mother, she would be drinking the tea. She would prepare the tea, na? Yes. So she would take a vessel, she will put some water, she will add some tea powder and then you add some sugar. Let it boil for some time. Then she also adds some milk. Yes. So after 5-10 minutes,